I've almost been bankrupt. I went through a 13-year custody battle. I lost my house, and I never gave up. And that relatability, so don't be ashamed of your path. That's going to make them feel safe to work with you, that you turn what do they say, your mess into your message, right? So every part of your journey is part of your teaching. Own it, share it, be proud of it, never give up, because your ideal clients are going to want exactly who you are and your path.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Abundant Coach podcast. My name is Jennifer Joy Jiménez. I'm one of the co-founders of the Brave Thinking Institute, here with the one and only, the amazing goddess extraordinaire, Allana Pratt, who is one of my best, deepest, longest friends, most like those juicy friends that you can tell anything to is Allana. I'm going to officially introduce you to everyone with your bio and the whole thing, but hello. Thank you for being here.
I just want to jump through the screen and snuggle you. Thank you for having me, sweetheart.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to dive in. But I want you all to know, many of you already, she is a celebrity coach. She's followed by tens of thousands online. She's interviewed some of the greatest celebrities. So you may already know her and be so excited about this incredible opportunity for you to be kind of like a fly on the wall, as if we're sitting having a nice cup of tea or coffee and just revealing it all is what I want this interview to really feel like. And yet, if for any reason the beautiful listener does not know you yet, I do want them to know who they have in this seat. So Allana is an intimacy expert, a certified master coach. And I don't even know how many certifications she has, but every time I talk to her, she's getting some master training in this and deep dive in that. And she's unlocking this. And it's just this like one of the most impressive coach tool belts that I have ever known. And I've been exposed to this world of coaching and transformation for 30 years, just to put things into perspective. She is a global media personality, a go-to authority for those ready to heal heartbreak, live unapologetically, and attract a soul-shaking relationship. She's like whip smart. She's an Ivy League grad. She's the author of 6 books. I'm like writing my first and she's written 6. She has interviewed Whoopi Goldberg, Alanis Morissette. Amazing. I would love to hear that. Hosts the edgy podcast Intimate Conversations. She's in season 13 and the name of that season is Heart Broken Open. And for the past 20 years, Allana's brave willingness to heal her own heart makes her authentic, relatable, credible, and let me just add, freaking lovable. And she's so raw. She shares herself so incredibly beautifully, not just with me, but really with her entire community. And she has, speak of like badass coaches who can get to like the root and rip it out and help you just become your most unleashed, amazing self. She has intimacy retreats. She's incredible. Please welcome to the stage, Allana Pratt.
I can't remember. Well, I'm sure we've interviewed each other over the decades, but that felt really, really good. Thank you, sweetheart, for seeing me so deeply and celebrating this journey.
Yes.
This journey, this embodied journey of coaching, being coached, and becoming our best selves. Yeah.
Yes.
So good.
Some of the topics that I really want to dive into together with you, the things that we talk about as women, as coaches, as mothers, as business owners and entrepreneurs, the thing that I love, and I'm very, as you are, we are selective about who we circle with, and there's few people that I know who are as dedicated to your growth, your healing, your transformation, and walking the frickin' talk. Like no one, very few people I know are as deeply committed to their spiritual and awakening and healing journey. So that's one thing, is walking the talk and
Yeah.
coaching while you're being coached and doing these deep dives, and the commitment to that, the
Yeah.
bravery and courage to go to some of the places we've talked about is I mentioned that I feel like Alana's like a spelunker. You know, those cave divers that go to, or like a deep sea, like the most impressive free diver that you've ever seen that goes to the deepest, darkest, scariest depths. And then as they're coming up from the deep, it's almost like, are they going to make it? Are they going to survive? It's like, those are the depths that I've witnessed this incredible, courageous woman dive into her own healing. And it's very rare. It's very rare. And then another topic that we're going to unpack today is the topic of somatic healing, embodied healing. Both of us are dancers. Both of us come from a performance and embodied and movement background. And so we've merged that into our own. We've needed it, required it for our own healing, and continue to. But we've also brought it into our own coaching. So I want to talk a little bit about that. And then the third thing we're going to unpack is, what is it? You know, and maybe you are already a full-time coach, or maybe you're somebody considering the life of a coach. And this woman gallivants around the world. She coaches from her phone. She coaches from her laptop. She takes her microphone and her stuff with her. She's got a kitty. She just traveled across the country to move to a new location. She's going to go to Spain and dance flamenco. And she does this, she has this incredible, like, bohemian, but like, then she'll go to a red carpet. I never know where I'm going to see her, because she'll be like dressed to the nines on a red carpet, or sipping, you know, like a mocktail or glass of wine in the Caribbean Ocean, or leading a retreat somewhere exotic. And I'm like, I don't know where you are, but just feel my love, you know? And so dedicating your life to this amazing adventure, and really creating a vision where you can have your cake and frickin' eat it too, you know? So those are going to be some of the things that we dive into, which I'm super thrilled. And then if there's anything you want to throw in, or Spirit wants to throw in, I'm sure, as you know, as we've had many, many times, these conversations where we ride the ocean wave of love together. So first question, ready? Okay. So why did you become a coach, and how did you become a coach? Like, I know that wasn't your first career. You were a performer. You traveled all over the world, dancing and performing, acting, and all of the arts. And so what drew you to coaching?
I was a hot mess. I needed help. Yes, so I hopped on Uncle Phil's semi from Canada for LA when I was 19. Didn't work out in LA, didn't have the working visa, moved to Tokyo, dancing, modeling, all the rest of it. Met husband number one, moved to New York. That's when I went to Columbia University. And that's when the issues started. Oh, daddy wounds. Oh, I married for safety. Not consciously. I loved him. But as the issues come up when you've been with somebody for 6 years, what was in common was he was the source of my safety, and I was a damsel in distress. And that was really hard to admit. So finished college, moved out to Los Angeles, and I met you, and met more of my people. And I realized it wasn't weird to meditate. The depth of the sacredness of sexuality that I yearned for wasn't weird either. And these wounds, these insecurities, were something you could change. So I started off in the traditional therapy realm, which was all in the head, and I was super smart, but it wasn't getting any better. And the relationship wasn't getting any better. And we ended up divorcing. And so I'm like, okay, that didn't work. What else is possible? So that's when I started more of my certifications. And I remember at first it was landmark education. And in that you can coach people. And then I got to be head coach. And then I was asked to be head coach of 2 separate programs. And they were like, you're good at this. And I noticed, Jen, that people told me things they don't tell other people. That was part one. Mm-hmm. But they also told me things they hadn't told themselves. So there was a truth inside that's something to do with my non-judgmental listening, my authentic curiosity, my ability not to judge. Me having gone through a lot of the things that they had gone through, there was deep, profound healing. And I said, okay, let me put my shingle up. This is so rewarding, so fulfilling. And to be able to learn from my own mistakes and then pay it forward and watch them thrive, it was like a sacred drug. Like I was like, I'm on board.
Yeah.
And it's been 20 years, 22 years. Yeah.
Amazing. I want to share a little tidbit, like a moment of not envy in like a negative way, but before I fair, like 16 years ago now was when we first, like early on, I was just coming out of working in sales full time. I'd quit my sales job, had this spiritual awakening with my mom on a retreat, and God said, give your 30-day notice, go for the dream. And I felt
Yep.
like I was diving off the Grand Canyon blindfolded backwards. And I was looking for any like life preserver,
Yeah.
or just like examples of other people out there who resembled even slightly the kind of work I wanted to do, because I also didn't want to just do the heady,
Yeah.
just talk kind of version of healing and transformation. My transformational healing and journey had come through conscious dance and embodiment work. And yes, the training, the mindset and success principles and universal spiritual laws that we teach at our institute, but as a somatic learner, it's got to be an embodied experience for me, or it just isn't. It just lands flat. It just doesn't get in there. And the truth is, for many of us, the most powerful way is an experience of the thing, not that we talk about it or hear about it or see it, but we have a lived experience of it. So my brother, is in also the relationship field, I think was the one who referred me to you, I believe. And I remember going online. I literally, Allana, this is so interesting. So I have a good enough memory, but there's a lot of things I don't. I remember this like it was yesterday. I
Really?
remember, I don't know if I have told this to you in this way. I don't think so, but I remember opening my laptop and going to your website and crying. And yeah, I felt a couple of things. I felt, oh my God, she's saying everything that I want to say, just in her unique way. Like she is shining. She's got I just remember reading about you coaching. Who was the other celebrity that you have on your website? The
Lisa Gibbons through
Lisa
Dancing with the
Gibbons. I was
Stars.
like,
Yeah.
what? She coached Lisa Gibbons? Oh my God. And it was embodied in somatic and divine feminine and
Yeah.
sexy and lush, all the things that I knew I was awakening into still.
Yeah.
And the way I wanted to talk to women
Yeah.
and the way I wanted to be seen. And I was just like, oh my God, I want to be her friend. And we did. We had an interview. We became fast friends
Yeah.
and have stayed connected and, just sharing in this life. And I launched, my business, and it's become, of course, very successful in the meantime. But I just love how the other thing about you, now that I think about it, is I didn't have a name. I didn't have a big work, and you totally had me on, by the way. Like,
Mm.
thank you. Like,
Mm.
nowadays when people are looking to have somebody on their show or to be interviewed, they look for all the numbers. Like a lot of people do, right? They look for certain things, and you had like zero ego. You still have no ego. You're so approachable, real, authentic. And so I want our listeners to, I mean, you show up in that way regardless, but tell me about the somatic pieces of your work. So you do coaching, and you've got, I mean, just like a laundry list of trainings and certifications that you pull from. But for somebody that's newer to the word somatic or embodiment or conscious dance, what does it mean? How does it work? And why does it matter so much?
So I'll start with I was a dancer since I was 5 years old. But when it came to areas where I was very safe, I'd say I could feel my intuition. I could feel a sense of lightness, or a sense of contraction, With dancing, I could get to a place where the music moved me or spirit moved me, like I'm not in charge. Being on the stage, you'd learn your number enough, but then you'd just let go and your body would just do it. Love making, getting out of trying to perform and just lose myself, right? So I've had these moments. And when it came to relationships, my heart closed. My vagina would clench. I'd go into my head, anything just to be safe and not rejected. So I could see these two dichotomies going on. So when I'm working as a coach with others, I'm not triggered and I'm absolutely able to, like, literally my body now, after all these years, when they're getting sick to their stomach, nervous, can't stomach something, I'll feel nauseous. Like I'll feel like my shoulders will start hurting. I'm like, what are you shouldering? There's a lot of energy, especially on the left, the feminine. Like, how do you know that? Like my body reads another body now. So on one way, somatic is like the body, right? And so embodiment, the words right in there, body. So that means we're out of our head. In my opinion, you need an open heart in order for the energy to continue down, to feel your solar plexus, your power, all the way down into your hips, your yoni, your soul, all of this embodiment, so that a knowing makes the decision, not a strategy of the mind makes the decision. So this often, at least for me, has been fear-based. Got to figure it out, do it right, look good, not get hurt. And so the motivation is fear. Yet when we do enough of this, I call it integration work. When there's a wound that you need to feel and surrender to the feeling, the body is so wise. It knows what it's doing. It knows how to bring the autonomic nervous system all the way back to zero if you get the mind out of the way and you have an impeccably safe coach who has your back. And so I am that facilitator that when it gets really hopeless or really panicky, terrifying, or really rageful or anything that's not appropriate in the world, I go, take me with you. I got you. Let's just feel that. Trust body. Body knows what it's doing. And people will literally come home right in front of me. And when they get back to zero, there's no difference between God on the outside and God on the inside. Oneness on the outside and oneness on the inside. I think a lot of people, when they meditate, maybe they've left their body, or maybe breath work, and they can like leave and have oneness out there. Tier 3, it's called. But tier 1 is the body. And for years, decades, only in the last 5 years, Jen, you know, all the work I've done, have I actually felt God, divinity, oneness in my body, in my skin. And there's no separation between God everywhere around me and in me. And to me, that's why we're alive. And then from that place, you can make decisions not out of lack, but out of delight. You know, you're drawn to this client, this location, this experiential go dance flamenco in Spain. It's not an in order to, with an attachment to an outcome. And it's not about any feedback I'm going to get to be good enough. It's pure joy, embodied joy. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I have been with you in moments where we've experienced that together in sisterhood.
Yeah.
It's just been so delightful. I think there's something really important and powerful about us as women doing our own sacred dance. Our souls crave it. We need it more now than ever before.
Yes.
And we need the woman, the female, and men, we need us all to rise, to awaken, to remember that this type of movement and dance and experience, it's our birthright. We're wired this way. If it doesn't feel that way when music comes on, it's only layers of programming and fear and restriction and judgment that aren't normal, and they aren't yours. They're just layers of things that have been put on you. And part of this work is to strip away those layers and to be held in safety, like you said, in this unconditional space where all of a sudden your body does remember.
Yeah.
And you come home to your body.
Yes.
And the traumas just fall away. I love the quote, our issues live in our tissues.
Yeah.
And you need to feel it to heal it. Where does feeling exist? It lives in the body. It doesn't live in the brain. It lives in our body. I love you saying that that you need to have that open heart. Absolutely. You know, just even that willingness and that desire. And I believe that that's when clients will manifest you as their coach, or come and do some work with me in these different ways, so that there is an embodied approach to the work. So what is it like being a full-time coach and living this adventurous life, this laptop lifestyle. Like, give us an example of what you do and how you've packaged your services. Because you're always gallivanting. You've got this amazing, abundant lifestyle to do whatever you want to do, go where you want to go, give what you would love to give. And that is co-created with the infinite. A vision-driven life is what you are living. So if somebody's struggling and maybe they're coaching but not generating what they would love, or they're bridging their day job with coaching, or they're kind of stuck in a boxy way of coaching. Like, you and I have really broken out of the box. We're doing it in a very unique, creative, expansive way that's really aligned with our soul's calling. And so what advice would you give? You know what I mean? Somebody that's trying to bridge that gap.
Yeah. Well, first, you're not alone. I remember very early on in my coaching. So there's 6 sessions. And on the first session, we do this. And the second session, it was very much by the book and in my head. And I remember I wasn't enjoying myself and I wanted to love them. So I remember the day that I threw away. I mean, I have all my skills in my toolkit, right? But I just threw them away and I just said, God, I just need to love them. And then all of a sudden I wasn't coaching them. God was coaching them through me. And my intuition turned on and my instincts turned on and I knew things I ought not to know. And I had non-local intelligence. Like, it was like I got my do it right, got to figure it out of the way. So that would be one of the first things I would say. Instead of trying to figure out how do I leave the job or figure out how do I brand myself and what do people want to hear, like, just, can we swear on this? I can't remember. I swear all the time. You know
I
that.
think you can, yeah.
I'm allowed.
You can
I'm
do
allowed,
whatever you want.
but you're not allowed. Okay. Well, I just said, fuck it, God, show me the way.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
So really be a hell yes that this is going to turn you on. My job is not my job. It's my spiritual practice. My company is my spiritual practice. In fact, I was just crying before this. One of my staff, so I have staff in the Philippines, India, America. I have 5 people that work for me. And I just, he sent a prenup video. They do this in the Philippines. They do a video of their, like, before their wedding. It's all, and it's because, and I pay them well for the Philippines. And he goes, it's because of working for you that I'm able to pay for my own wedding. And he goes, would you be so kind as if you would send a little video so my entire family can see the woman who's made this all possible? Like,
Oh,
like
wow. Yeah.
I'm from the point of view that I can't do my work without them. This one is my video. This one does my Patreon channel. This one does my Instagram. This one does my YouTube. This one does all the emails. This, like, I can't function. This one books all my PR. Like, that's what I can't function without them. Like, I have it that they're, the wind in my wings, but to know that, and we're family. We're family. We do team bonding meetings, and if they show up and, shit's hit the fan, I'm like, okay, we'll do another meeting tomorrow. We're going to deal with what's important. To me, you can't hear when your heart's closed, right? You can't be truly present when your mind is spinning with, oh my God, what do I do? My mom's sick. My brother died, right? So I always be with the heart first. And by doing that, I have an incredibly committed staff. And my clients also are my brothers and sisters. And it's like a family. And when we go away on retreats, speaking of dancing, I remember last time in Mexico a few months ago, we made a circle. And I said, I would like the essence of your soul to dance, please. And they got up and they just, it was breathtaking. It was breathtaking because no one had ever asked them to do that. And then even on the very first day, I give them these little interviews to get to know each other. And I said, now we're going to introduce each other through the song you think they'd like to dance to. So
I love that.
we were just partying right out of the gate. And people are like, whoa, but it's the embodiment piece that is so key to putting it all together. So I would say create a coaching practice that lights you up, that you're like, I get to be paid for this? Are you serious? Like, I remember back as a model in my 20s, wait a minute, you want me to wear pretty clothes and smile and you're going to pay me? Like, yes, create a business that's so yummy for you. And part of yummy for me is traveling. I've traveled ever since I was 13 over to the Mediterranean as a young girl. So I have clients in Australia, I have clients in Canada, I have clients in the States, a couple other countries. And I said, I miss you. I want to come to you. So let's create some immersions or some intensives and some mini retreats because I'm coming. So you just create it. And they're like, really? You do that? And it's authentic. I love them. I only take on clients that there is a soul connection. And
Amazing.
in the beginning, it was like, do you have a checkbook and a pulse? Fine, we can work together.
Yes.
Because I was starting, but now I have the blessing of being the energy. And that's another thing. As you ascend and do your work and integrate wounds, it's not about hustling. It's not about proving your worth. It's about being the vortex to draw in. And yes, you need to put yourself out there, but it's about drawing in who's going to nourish you and the community of clients you have. And you get to have that. You get to have that.
Amazing. Amazing. I continue to hear you really talking about this open heart and loving your clients. And I think that's really one of the keys in manifesting clients you are in love with is you start by loving the ones you have. You start by loving yourself. And the
Yes.
way I describe the trifecta of really allowing spirit to coach through me as a vessel, a
Yeah.
vehicle, is this triangle. So I imagine that we're both connected to spirit. Spirit's the leader, spirit's the guide, spirit's really the all-knowing, infinite, intelligent presence, all loving presence. And as I tap into and connect with that presence and then evoke that from the beautiful soul that I'm working with, and I know you do this as well, that's really where the magic happens. It's not in the head. To your point, our intuition doesn't live in the intellect. Our connection to this infinite intelligent source that moves through this body temple as our wise inner being is connected in a fullness of who we are. So these practices like breath work, like conscious dance and embodiment, like bringing your team together and having them dance, it's this unlocking and unleashing
Yeah.
of our trueness. So if our listeners would love to connect with you and learn a little bit more about your retreats or your style of coaching, or do like a VIP day or a deep dive, which I would highly recommend, how can they get a hold of you? Do you have a free gift for them? What would you
No.
recommend they do to get started?
Absolutely. Well, Get to Know Me, Intimate Conversations. That's my podcast. I have over 6 million views on my YouTube channel. So there's lots of content there, Instagram, etc. AllanaPratt.com/top five, the number 5 mistakes is a complimentary 5 video series on mistakes we make that, we destroy our conscious relationship. And so I give you insights, but I'll be honest, awareness isn't enough to actually make the changes, but it will confirm you're moving in the right direction and what that wound is. So once you've done that, you're like, oh, okay, I trust this lady. I would like you to go to allanapratt.com/connect, and I will give a special code to you, Jen, so you can allow them to have a Jen special scholarship. And that's a one-on-one call with me where we're going to go deep, and you register, you fill out an application. I respond with a video so that by the time we're together, we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to use our time efficiently. And I have a gift. I always say, don't ask me to cook for you. Not so good at that. Not so good at technology. But this is my genius. I was born to be a coach. I'm very good at what I do. I love it. And it's a deep, profound honor to go into the shadows, go into the darkness, because the light is there and I know it. And I'm amazing at getting us there. So it's my honor.
You are. I would say there isn't anything that anybody could throw your way or share that has occurred that would phase you. You are this fierce force for love.
Yes.
Love within the soul, the healing power of love, the unconditional love that is you. It is the most amazing light you will ever feel and experience. So I can't recommend you and your work enough. And for the listener that may want to explore what Brave Thinking Institute is and our work in the world, of course, it's vast. I would just recommend going to bravethinkinginstitute.com. That's B as in boy, BRAV as in Victor, E, like Braveheart. Bravethinkinginstitute.com. You can click around. We have a coaching certification division, and we have all sorts of programs and retreats and events and things that we do. So feel free. You can also check out Transcendance, which is my movement modality, and get a taste of what somatic transformational healing can look and feel like. If you go to the events link at Brave Thinking Institute, you can see that there. But yeah, I guess my last message, and I would ask for a final, just words of wisdom, whatever spirit is downloading through you, Allana. But what came to me was this message of hope, belief, and faith that if the listener is feeling frustrated, like I feel like there's somebody that will listen that's feeling like they want to throw in the towel. And I want to say, do not throw in the freaking towel. You stay the course. If you are called to do this work, it is the echo of the souls that are calling you forward. I know it's not easy. I know it can feel like you're showing up and no one's showing up. And so why are you doing this? I know what it feels like to host a class or a workshop and nobody goes, and to feel like, is this ever going to make money for me? We've all been there.
Yes.
Allana's been there. If you just keep putting one foot in front of the other and allow yourself to blossom and grow with it, it will grow. We promise. Stay the course. And Allana, what would be your final words of wisdom?
Well, first, I just want to say I'm remembering back to when we first met and we danced on the beach in LA, and Donna DeLury allowed us to use her music, and we knew each other through our bodies as well as our minds and our hearts. So I love that we have that level of connection. Number two, what I would say, and I'm thinking, I have a lot of clients who are coaches, and there's something about being with a leader like us, where I've almost been bankrupt. I went through a 13-year custody battle. I lost my house, and I never gave up. And that relatability, so don't be ashamed of your path. That's going to make them feel safe to work with you, that you turn what do they say, your mess into your message?
Yeah.
Right? So every part of your journey is part of your teaching. Own it, share it, be proud of it, never give up, because your ideal clients are going to want exactly who you are and your path.
And so it is. So it is. So yes, come and get some free gifts and click around, introduce yourself to Allana online and to us, and we would love to continue to support you along your healing path and coaching path. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our podcast, please do, because we continue to come out with just incredible coaches and experts and tools and resources to help you thrive as an abundant coach. Until next time, think bravely, act boldly, and create and live a life that you love. Thanks, everybody.
If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you never miss a new upload. You can help our channel continue to grow as we invest in creating more great content for coaches. Lastly, check the description below for helpful links to the resources mentioned in this video. Thank you and have an amazing day.